Welcome back to my channel. Some days ago I received a whole box of point and shoot digital cameras or compact cameras, and I'll be doing reviews of these cameras during the next videos. Today this is the camera I'll be reviewing, a very small Olympus D-735 camera, and it even came with 2 extra batteries, so I have 3 small batteries for this camera. And it is just insanely small. It's actually about half the size of my iPhone. But can it take good images, or can you do something serious with it? Let's have a look. The small Olympus D-735 is a 12 megapixel camera with a very small sensor. I'll put the numbers up here. And it also has a very small screen on the back of it, but actually the screen couldn't be larger because the camera is so small that they couldn't put a larger screen on this one. So it's actually quite okay. What is not so good is that the resolution of the screen is not very good. So it doesn't show images very precisely or very clearly. You have to import the images to your computer to see if they are okay. And there's a lot of mistakes to make with this one. The first images that I made with it, I took with a setting of imprint of date and time. It was set this way from the person I got them from. Actually, the whole box of 6 cameras was set this way, so they all imprinted date and time on the images. I don't know why, but I have to remove it from all of them. But I didn't notice at first, and I took a lot of images before I found out that it had this imprint on it. The next thing was that this was set to 1600 ISO, which is the highest ISO this can be set to. And you've probably seen some of these images that it's not very good images. They are kind of blurry and not very sharp, but that's due to the fact that it was set to 1600 ISO. That's a lot for this kind of old camera with a very small sensor. But as I set it down to ISO 100, I think that it actually made some pretty amazing examples. So let's have a look at some images from this camera. This camera also has some very special modes. If we go into the magic, we can see there's a lot of different modes. Here Well, first of all, it's pop art. You can see that the colors get very weird, and also in this image. In pinhole, it sort of resembles what you get from a pinhole camera. And in fisheye, of course, the effect is the fisheye effect on your image. Drawing, well, that's a very special one. I like this one a lot. And soft focus just blurs the image a bit, not that usual, I think. Punk is also very extreme, converts the colors and makes it very contrasty image. And then there's sparkle, which pretty fun effect in some respects, I think. Funny little things to have in this camera. Even though this camera is pretty small, it has an optical zoom, so it actually zooms 4 times optically. That's not quite nice. It doesn't do a digital zoom. Lucky for that, because I don't think with a small sensor that would be very wise to need to use. But startup time of this camera is also very fast, less than a second, I think. And zooming to tele takes also very short time, and again back to wide. You can actually charge the camera by this USB port, so you charge the batteries inside the camera, but of course you can also, if you have a charger for it, you can charge the camera by using an external charger, because it has a battery sitting in here and an SD card here. It also has a lot of other functions here that you can manipulate, but you have to go into the menu to use change most of the settings on this camera. There's not so many buttons, but there wouldn't be room for it on this small camera. If you place more buttons on it, you wouldn't be able to hit exactly one button, because your fingers would be too large if they placed more buttons here. It actually works pretty well. I like it a lot, and for the size of it, you can put it into any pocket. It's very small, so that's very nice. So I like this kind of camera, even though the images might not be as sharp as they could be from a real camera. So actually I think there's a lot to like about this camera. First of all, of course, it's a very small camera, as I showed you, and the image quality for the size and the size of the sensor is pretty decent. I also like that it has so many fun functions to play around with, and the quick startup is really a good bonus, and also that the zoom is so fast is very nice. I bought it in this box with all these cameras, and I didn't get an external charger, but then I can charge it by USB, so that's very nice also. But there are a few things that I dislike about this camera as well. The ISO above 100 is very grainy, so I don't like the images when shot above the lowest values. It also has a very slow frame rate. I haven't found any data on it, but I think it's like 1 image every second. And of course the image quality, if you compare to modern smartphone, is not very good, but I like the output from the CCD sensor anyway. It also has a bit quirky interface that you have to get used to, and then video is only 640 by 480. Not a lot in these days. So I hope you liked this quick review of the Olympus D-735, a very small compact digital camera with 12 megapixels. I like to use it a lot, though the images might not be as sharp as I would like, but it's pretty fun to use in everyday situations. Next time I'll be reviewing the General Electric DV1, which is a even more strange camera than the Olympus camera, but more on that later on. Please subscribe to my channel and also hit the like button. So thank you very much for this time, and bye for now.